Driver, stop right there. Stop right there, driver. Let me see your hands now. Let me see your hands. Get down here on the ground now.
This on me, man.
Get down on the ground.
Will you fight me?
Put your hands up. Put your hands behind your back right now. You're under arrest. Put your hands behind your back. For attempting to elude, put your hands behind your back.
I ain't trying to move.
Hands behind your back now.
What's going on?
He's under arrest.
Motherfucker out here. Under arrest for what?
For driving under the influence and for attempting to elude a police officer. Step it up, 10-10.
Man, this motherfucker out here gotta fight me, baby.
Turn around, put your hands behind your back now. You drop it right now. Drop it right now. 00, shots fired. Shots fired. 00, shots fired. Stay down.
You shot it.
Stay down on the ground now.
Lay down, bitch.
Stay down on the ground now.
Lay down.
Don't kill me, baby. See your hands right there, ma'am. Let me see your hands.
Where's this gun? Over here. Right. Here. Over.
Turn over. Turn over.
Gun right here. Right here, right here. Gun.
Hold it.
232 of Black. Go ahead and roll rescue.
Who's this?
You.
Listen here, buddy. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Listen here, bud. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Stay with me now, bud. Got help coming, okay?
Mandy, the man known as Big West is gone, and now new details are surfacing about his past troubles with the law. This is video from the scene Sunday night as St. Louis City Police continue to investigate the shooting that happened near Gravois and Grand. According to investigators, 52-year-old Creighton West robbed this KFC and pointed a gun at a police sergeant when confronted at the restaurant. The officer, who was called to the scene by a witness, fired at West, killing him. According to our partners at the Post-Dispatch, West became a registered sex offender in 1980 for assaulting a teenage boy and served time for robbing 7 restaurants in October of 1986. We're also told West was recently dealing with financial issues.
We begin at 5 o'clock with that breaking news. Here is a look at the man accused of shooting a Houston police officer.
Investigators say Shelton Harold shot at Officer Jason Rhodes when he chased down Harold and another man during an attempted robbery.
Well, Sarah, we've been doing some digging and we found that 27-year-old Shelton Harold has quite a lengthy rap sheet. He is also a registered sex offender. Tonight, he's behind bars and police say so is his young accomplice. Officer down. Houston police officer Jason Rhodes wounded in the line of duty as he attempted to stop 2 suspected robbers who police say were about to hit this Family Dollar store. The 2 had their faces covered and were about to go into the store when Officer Rhodes spotted them. He chased them on foot. Alexandra Celestine saw the pair running from police.
The black man, he fell down after he he jumped the gate, and then he shot the police officer.
The accused shooter, who police sources say is 27-year-old Shelton Harold, shot Officer Rhodes in his left arm just a few hundred feet from the Family Dollar store. We did some digging, and Harold has a lengthy criminal history.
Police, including Houston Police Chief Charles McClelland, rushed here to condemn anyone who would shoot a police officer.
The ruthless thugs out here that are trying to take property, take things from individuals who work hard and are honest, hard-working people, and they want to take a shortcut in our society and take property that belongs to others.
The chief says that Officer Rhodes is a hero.
But Officer Rhodes was by himself and did what heroes do, thought of others before he thought of himself, and he knew that the people in that store was going to be in great danger if those individuals were to enter.
Another vivid, dramatic example of why no traffic stop is routine for a police officer.
Take a look at this video released by the Cape Town, South Africa Police Department.
From Officer Nizam Alexander's dash cam, you can see the car pulled over and a man with a baseball cap walking on the left. Officer Nizam Alexander approaches the car to get the driver's information. The man with the cap reappears, this time with a gun. It jams and he walks out of frame.
The man surprised Officer Alexander and shot him in the back. Despite the wound, Alexander was able to duck behind the cars and fired 3 shots, missed. He raced after the man, then calmly walks back to the car and finishes writing the ticket.
Here's a weird story out of Myrtle Beach just a couple nights ago. So far it seems pretty ordinary. A little fight, shooting at a beach club. Listen, if you've read Don't Make the Black Kids Angry, you know this happens every night in almost every big city and small city in the country. They're called let-out fights, black clubs, black people, parking lots, guns, cops. Okay, fine. I don't really, I don't really do that many let-out fights videos anymore. But then we get down to the bottom of the story, and what do we see? They took this let-out fight to a new level. They were firing their guns at the cops, shouting, "Fuck the police." That's the line from the movie Straight Outta Compton, the one that everybody thought should have gotten all the Academy Award nominations. So we're going to boycott the Oscars this year. That one, remember that? Fuck the police. And that gets buried in the story.
We have new information this afternoon in the officer-involved shooting death of 18-year-old Vonderett Myers. An off-duty St. Louis police officer working security in the Shaw neighborhood shot and killed Myers in October of 2014. That touched off demonstrations. Now, the Myers family has filed a wrongful death suit against the officer, the neighborhood association, and the security company that he worked for. The St. Louis Circuit Attorney's investigation cleared the officer Jason Flaherty in the case, saying Myers shot first at the officer.
Killing of 18-year-old Vonderett Myers Jr. by an off-duty police officer last week in the Shaw neighborhood. But Fox 2 has learned that the suspect showed off his stolen gun to anybody who would look.
We obtained pictures of Vonderett Myers Jr. showing off his handguns on social media. Fox Files investigator Chris Hayes reveals the evidence while exploring why the officer shot at Myers 17 times.
Here's Vonderett Myers Jr. in a picture he reportedly posted on social media before someone dismantled the page. 3 handguns in his lap, including this 9mm Smith & Wesson semi-automatic.
The one weapon with a silver slide on it has been positively identified by my client as the gun that was used in the shooting that night.
Brian Milliken is the attorney for the officer. The suspect's family claims publicly that Myers did not have a gun.
We want people to know that not only did he have it, but this is the actual weapon that he used that night.
The St. Louis Post-Dispatch acquired this surveillance video of Myers and others buying a sandwich. He's not wearing a hooded sweatshirt and does not appear to be carrying a handgun. This video shows Myers left the store at about 7:05. It was about 20 minutes later when the off-duty St. Louis Metropolitan Police officer, who was uniformed and working secondary, described seeing 3 men, including Myers, in a hooded sweatshirt.
There was no initial stop or pedestrian check in this case. As he's patrolling, he notices that these individuals start running in different directions. Ultimately sees the suspect that was involved in the shooting holding his waistband.
The incident report states Myers ignored the officer's verbal commands and moved towards the officer aggressively. The report says it became hands-on and Myers' hooded sweatshirt came off.
The suspect, where he began shooting at the police officer, was on higher ground basically than the policeman. So he has a tactical advantage because he's shooting down at the policeman.
So here's what he's talking about. The officer is reportedly down here, well below the suspect, with the suspect firing down at him. So the officer gets down to take cover.
Part of those rounds were suppression rounds to try to get the suspect to stop shooting at him. So the way it was described is the policeman's got his gun up here, he's down trying to avoid fire coming at him, and his gun is slightly raised over his head, shooting back up at the suspect.
Milliken says police also found what they believe to be a bullet fragment in a car behind the officer. St. Louis City Police say the suspect shot at the officer 3 times before his gun jammed. Investigators tested the suspect's gun, but have not released results. Investigators are also waiting for crime lab results on possible gunpowder residue on Myers' hands. The officer, who's now on standard leave, is a Marine Corps veteran with 3 combat tours under his belt. His attorney feels it's his extensive combat training that kept him alive last Wednesday night.